Well, Rachel and Jacob, they had the job of closing out, but they took their time. These two so much loved being together that they weren't in any hurry at all for the evening to end. But they cleaned things up and they shut things down, and then they headed out. And of course there was Freundin, their horse, waiting, still hitched up to the buggy, and it was dark. Uh, Now Freundin was plenty happy to see him and quite ready to get on her way home. She'd calmed down after that scare that she had with things being unusual. But so anyway, they headed out. Now, if these two were horse and buggy Mennonites. They weren't Amish. They weren't that. How should I say? I don't know. They weren't Amish. Uh, but anyway, the horse and buggy was what they used by preference. They could drive if they wanted to. And heading on, but being Mennonites, it's pretty unlikely that they had ever heard of Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein or any of the work they'd ever done. But if they had, they would have had words for what was going on in their minds. For, riding along in this buggy on the way home, for Rachel's part, she was thinking, I'm using Hammerstein's words, out of my dreams and into your arms I long to fly. They were so in love, and she was also tired. And another thing that they noticed was it had rained. It had rained really hard, but short, and they could smell that. I hope you've all had smelled that before when there's been a hard rain, and the ground has been dusty. And the wavin wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. Well, the wheat harvest was already gone. This was August. They'd harvested wheat in early July, but so there were words for that. But the best words were for riding along. Where to start? Where to start with this? When I take you out tonight with me, honey, here's the way it's gonna be. You'll be set behind a team of snow-white horses in the finest rig you ever see. Well, it's not a team, and they weren't snow-white. It was just Freundin. Ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the surrey. A wonderful song about this. Of course, as I say, they didn't know it. They wouldn't have been exposed to it, but you might know it. The wheels weren't yellow. The upholstery was brown. The dashboard genuine leather, with isinglass windows that would roll right down in case of a change in the weather. Two bright side lights winking and blinking. Ain't no finer rig, I'm a-thinking. You can keep your rig if you're thinking that I'd care to swap for this tiny little surrey with the fringe on the top. So along they went, and Rachel was getting tired, and eventually her head her head lay down on Jacob's shoulder, and Rogers had, or Hammerstein had words for that. Whoa, you team, my baby's a-sleepin'. Maybe got a dream worth a-keepin'. Whoa, you girl, now just keep a-creepin' at a slow clip-clop. Don't you hurry with the surrey with the fringe on the top.